This is Nick at his most boring. So Nick is at his most entertaining. He's most fun and intelligent and fun to listen to when the mask is off and he's just sitting there alone in his room dealing with his community. You know, he's raised this horde of socially incompetent incel neo-Nazis, and he just has to get fielded their questions and their life savings. It's very profitable, but this is him at his most boring when he's got somebody else to vice signal at. You know what I mean? When the curtains are closed and it's just him and his audience, he's like, you know, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Come on. And then when he's talking to some other guy, he has to be like, yeah, I do think Hitler was based, actually. And it's like, all the kayfabe is back up, the performativity.
Jokes, although I haven't ascertained yet whether you are joking when you say that Hitler was very fucking cool. Are you joking?
Whoa,
or do you actually
swearing.
think he was very fucking cool? The most genocidal monster of...
See, this is the lamest way to talk to people like Nick Fuentes. Do you really think that Adolf Hitler was based? Because that would be... steam would come out of my ears if you say Hitler is based. Didn't Kanye West already, like, blow this, this circuit? Haven't we been over this, man? If you act like these people are shock jockeys, if you ask them, oh, do you think Hitler was based? Of course they're going to say yes, you fucking idiot. What do you think Nick Fuentes is going to do? Go like, well, now that I've really been given a moment to reflect on the severity of my words. No, I don't think so. What's the point of this? You're just doing advertisement for the guy, man. Dude, look at how based he is. He's so unafraid to say Hitler was based.
The last 150 years.
Yeah, the thing is, my generation, we're just done with the pearl clutching. You know,
yeah, you might be, but then your generation hasn't gone through what Danny Finkelstein's family went through. So
yeah.
Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. Do you think this is how? I mean, Piers Morgan isn't even a liberal. He's a, you know, turncoat, believes in nothing, dipshit, kind of a shock jockey himself, really. Do you think this is how they would have talked to each other back in like the 1930s? Do you really think the Jews are doing all the evil? Do you have any idea how offensive that is?
Maybe the pearl clutching has a way to go for families whose family members
oh my gosh,
were murdered.
Yeah, we got all that. We, you know, me mom, like we're, you know, I don't even know who this person is. Why is this person talking to me? This old British guy is saying me mom.
I'm with Nick on this one. This is a pretty bad rhetorical strategy. All right, I'm here. I'm reviewing this debate, this high IQ debate. I'm putting all of my intellectual acumen down here on the table. We are assessing the blow by blow, okay? We're commentating on a boxing match.
Got killed by Hitler.
Because he doesn't find it funny when you say Hitler's very fucking cool.
I don't care. I don't care.
I know you don't care. That's fine. You don't have to care. But he does care.
Does that guy care about America? Does that guy care about...
What kind of fucking argument is this, too? Like, the moral argument for being anti-Hitler is that a guy you've never heard of's family suffered because... What is this? No, it's Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, I guess it tells you how Piers Morgan could defend Israel, because I'm telling you, he's not approaching this from a very epistemically grounded position.
Me and my country and my family? No.
He cares what you, a prominent conservative in America, has to say about Adolf Hitler. Now, what do you mean by Hitler is very fucking cool? Because I think he's...
What do you mean by that? That's so offensive what you said. You're really triggering me right now. Do you like that? Do you like triggering me?
Very fucking a monster.
Okay. And that's a clip. I think he's very fucking a monster. Do you hear yourself?
Yeah,
I mean, can we all grow up?
I do.
Can we all grow up?
Nick wishes he could do some monster fucking.
12 million people. He murdered 12 million people. What is very fucking cool about that?
This is you know that old meme? This is literally the civil Adolf Hitler arguing with the outraged big-headed stick figure comic. You killed millions of people. Okay, yeah, well, you're shouting, and I don't like that very much. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. While Hitler's on some monkey business, I'm out here standing on business. Yes, Mr. Morgan. Yes. You got it. But Piers knows what he's doing because it's all for engagement. The whole podcast is brain dead. Yeah, but like every other engagement with Nick Fuentes that everyone else like it's all free advertisement for him. You're literally just printing groypers. You're at the Federal Reserve. You're printing them out on big sheets of paper. You've got like a bunch of groyper notes. You're just doing him a favor. I know Piers Morgan doesn't care because this miserable piece of shit wouldn't really care if Hitler 2 took over. Not that Nick Fuentes would be Hitler 2. I've said this before, but like. If him or people like him took charge, it wouldn't be that different from this administration. The administration is already... You know, the Department of Homeland Security used the term sodomites yesterday on Twitter? We already know what it looks like when Nazis take over the government. As it turns out, it looks pretty much exactly like this.
Tell me.
The edits, it's just cool. The uniforms, the
See? Exactly.
parades, it's...
What do you like about Hitler? Well, the little Dark Age edits, mostly.
It's cool as a guy. You look at World War II, and it's fascinating, and it's interesting, and it's compelling, and it's cool. And, you know, we're just tired of saying these kinds of things. We want to talk like...
Maybe Nick is being Maybe Nick is interesting. He's not even making like a moral argument. Hearts of Iron for fascism. Well, listen, I appreciate it. I think that Nick would be embarrassed. I think that he would feel embarrassed if he had to disingenuously make a moral argument defending Hitler, because that is soy. He was defending the Aryan people. The Jews declared war on Germany first by destroying the banks. And the Treaty of Versailles was unfair. Like, that's gay and lame, right? The based and red-pilled answer is to be like, yeah, I don't even care. I basically just like the uniforms. And yeah, like the little Dark Age edits are fucking base, bro. Yeah, Hail Hitler, yeah. It really is just a matter of what's based and what's soy. I appreciate him being forthcoming. It's just not, it's not serious business, you know?
Real people and give our honest opinions. And then we literally get an old Jewish guy from England who's going to say, oh, that's not very funny, mate. Me mom. And it's like, shut up. Like, you know, no one is in favor of genocide. So let's just get that out of the way.
The project of liberalism has been such an overwhelming... Listen, I don't think that, you know, I don't think that fucking the Enlightenment thinkers would necessarily have predicted how we got to this point, but I think that, I think they would be proud of where we've come. There are some things that they would defend about the progress of this Enlightenment project, where we have the modern neo-Nazis are like, listen, we don't believe in hurting people, okay? Bro, he can't even say it. You guys need to understand, and I know I've made this point a lot, but it's really important, okay? Nick is being serious here. Everything he just said is true. It literally is just because the World War II VHS tape edits are based, and the uniforms, and it's cool, and it's compelling, and we don't care about genocide. That's literally true. You think Nick Fuentes personally, morally cares about, like, the orchestration of a genocide? Like, all the work, it is just aesthetics. It's just, like... Fascism has always been very aesthetically oriented, but there was some substance to the project back in the day, you know? It was largely hypocritical, self-defeating, and monstrous, but these guys aren't into it. Yeah, they're into politics for the same reason people get into Pinterest boards, you know? They are as much real Nazis ideologically down to their core as people are real 1980s punk, because they've put together a collage of pictures from the 1980s and have a couple of, you know, vintage pieces. It's a purely aesthetic, cosmopolitan, tourists approach to the ideology. And a lot of people on the left do this too. Desperate loners, losers, people with poor social skills, people without much going on in their lives will often attach themselves to extremist groups, not because they like really believe in it, but because it gives them a sense of belonging and purpose, and it makes them feel like they're not part of the problem. If they're so miserable in the day-to-day world, if the way the status quo makes them feel is bad, attaching themselves to an extremist ideology makes them feel like they're no longer part of the status quo. Of course, the problem is that a lot of the things going wrong with the world today have to do with things like corporate consolidation, capitalism, you know? And the ideology these guys pretend to believe in facilitates that to a large extent. So they actually are, in a weird way, furthering the status quo by pretending to belong to the extremist group. You understand what I'm saying here? Anyway, a lot of people do this, you know. They're like, they attach themselves to these fringe groups. The difference is that Nick is done enough that he'll just admit it, which I kind of appreciate, you know? He's being a hell of a lot more honest than Piers Morgan is about his ideology, I'll say that much.
We're not in favor of a Holocaust or genocide.
Do you think if half your family
years ago,
do you think if half your family had been wiped out by very fucking cool Hitler, you'd still think he was very fucking cool?
Like, obviously, just logically, this argument's a non-starter. It doesn't make any sense at all, you know. For one, you could make it about literally any historical figure. Imagine if you were defending FDR's, New Deal program, and somebody was like, okay, well, what about the Japanese-American internment camps? And you were like, yeah, that's bad. I'm not really talking about that, though. And then they just kept hepping on about it, right? It doesn't really, it's a non-starter. It doesn't make any sense, you know. Terrible argument.
Or would you think that actually he was a despicable monster who murdered 12 million people, who targeted people because they were disabled or Jewish or Romani Gypsy or whatever it may be,
Romani
and that
Gypsy.
He systematically destroyed people, incinerated them in gas chambers? Do you think that you would...
They incinerated them in the incinerators. The gas chambers were for gassing. What are you even talking about, man? If you're going to morally grandstand... By the way, I want to point out, if you're going to morally grandstand about anything, morally grandstanding against the Holocaust, that's a pretty good place to start. I just think that this is totally insincere, and the way he's doing it does nothing but make people watching this go, you know, oh, Fuentes is based. He also likes the little Dark Age edits.
Find it very fucking cool if your family had been through that? Or do you think you would find it very fucking disgusting and perhaps moderate?
Morgan is zero moral high ground. No, of course, no. Morgan personally has none. He's defended the Israeli genocide. He has no moral high ground at all. But even like beyond that, because that's kind of a personal attack, it's not really like addressing his arguments. The argument here is still a non-starter. Nick looks so bored, Lamau. I mean, I'm bored listening to it, you know?
The number of times you laugh about it or want to joke about it or want to abuse someone like Danny Finkelstein, who's written incredibly powerful books about what happened to his extended family at the hands of the Nazis and your other hero, Stalin. See, my point to you, Nick Fuentes, is that...
And that's why the argument is anemic. It doesn't make any sense. What are you even talking about, man? What are you even talking about here? What ideology are we even talking about?
In parts of this interview, you try to come across as moderate, but every now and again the mask slips, and it slipped again here with what you say about Hitler. There's nothing very fucking cool about Hitler. We know that from history now. We know what he did. You've already conceded.
Hey, genuine question, okay? So nobody who talks to Nick from like the left position is intelligent, right? Where's Destiny? I'm honestly asking. Hassan doesn't want to and shouldn't talk to Nick Fuentes for a variety of reasons. What is Destiny? Is he still? Aren't they like in love? Or that was a bit of a joke. Aren't they a little bit? There are literally videos of Nick Fuentes at Destiny's house. They're like chilling. Are they not? Like, what is he up to? Ugly breakup, I thought. Fuentes cut the ties. But why? Nick tried to get him deplatformed, I believe. But why? I don't understand.
That he murdered at least 6 million Jews. So when you say he's very fucking cool, Jewish people watch this and go, this guy's disgusting. Why would he say this about someone who perpetrated such an evil? And what's the real answer? Why do you? Is it just for clicks? Is it for money? Is it just for fun? For shits and giggles? What is it? What?
I mean, largely, yeah, obviously. Who watches Piers Morgan, man? A surprising number of people, none of whom are smarter than him. Lol, you want Destiny to seduce him to the good side? No, I want to see Nick have a conversation with somebody who understands why he does what he does. This performative grandstanding bullshit. You know, Tucker's on the other side. Tucker's a neo-Nazi as well, so his job is basically to, you know, he's puffing Nick up. But nobody understands. A lot of you guys don't understand. Look, I'm not speaking with any kind of direct insight here. I've never actually talked to Nick. At least I don't think so. Have I ever? I don't think I have. I've got a pretty bad memory, but I feel like I'd remember that. But the game he plays, or reason he's interested in doing what he does, you know? It comes across kind of obvious to me. I just wish more people understood it. Because if you understand this, then you can understand the people who like him as well. And they're only going to become more prominent in the future. As the MAGA movement falls apart and they have nothing to give their people, no answers, no promise, the false promise of a kind of like palingenic ultranationalist, fascist revival. What if we got even more racist with it, that sort of thing? It's going to become more and more appealing. People need a narrative more than they need anything else. People, in the absence of a narrative, people will jump on narratives that otherwise tear their lives apart. People would rather have a reason, even if it hurts them, than no reason at all. And Nick provides a reason. It's just the reason is so superficial. I feel like any, it just doesn't take much thought to see there's not much behind this apart, aesthetics and the little dark age edits and so on. Would you talk to Nick? I mean, I said a debate was on the table for like 5 years, and he always said he wanted a fucking neutral moderator, which is lame. I wouldn't even want to debate him at this point. I just want to talk. Like, what's the long term? I just want to tell him to move to Brooklyn, man. I just want to what's the out on this? We both know you don't want political power, right? Like you're looking for a way to streamline what you represent. You used to gleefully deny the Holocaust. You were lying back then too, but now you're on more of this like, well, the Nazism that I represent, it just means tight leather outfits, Actually, Nazism is when I get to dress in Balenciaga all the time. Okay. It's when I wear the Yeezy collection. No, sure, man, whatever. But can't you do that while not being retarded? I don't know. With your permission to raid his chat, tell him to talk to you. That was incredible. That was such a tedious message that I disliked so much that you're getting 30 days for it. That's crazy. That was like a, like a big weight. Maximizing for tedium. Incredible.
What motivates you to say something like Hitler was very fucking cool?
It's for this. It's for all of this. And the lack of self-awareness is amazing. You're a boomer. You're a 60-year-old boomer. And we've spent maybe 3 minutes on you saying, he's a really fucking monster. He incinerated people. And I'm sitting here saying it's not that serious. It's not that deep. And
dude, he's literally telling you. Again, Fuentes 4 years ago would have been like defending Hitler. Now he's just defending the unseriousness of the project, which, again, he's being really honest. Lamau Nick's right here. He's just telling Piers he's giving free attention. Yeah, no, for real. For sure, 100%.
Not that serious.
I'm getting at,
not that serious.
Do you want to say more about he's a monster?
You're not a kid yourself anymore. You're not a teenager.
I know.
Right? You're nearly 30, to be clear.
Yeah.
Okay? You're a fully...
Wait, really? How old is Nick? He still looks like a kid to me. He looks like 19. He's 27? That's crazy.
Formed adult who has a
dude, what if I shaved and I look just like this? That'd be fucked up.
Brain, right? And at some stage, that brain is taking you off these rabbit warrens.
Is this an interview or is this a lecture? Can I respond to what you're saying?
Oh. 4 minutes, 16 seconds passed by in a blink of an eye. Hey, where was that? I did see that one other clip. Where was that one other clip where Piers Morgan was grilling him on whether he'd ever fucked?
Just to clear up one of the many theories about you, I have no idea what the answer is and you haven't got to answer. But are you actually attracted to women?
I am attracted to women.
You're not gay?
No.
This is what the entire interview should have been about. This is the only shit I'm interested in, okay?
But I will say that women are very difficult to be around.
True! Any truers in chat? Any facts posters? I'm looking at least one on the screen right now.
Okay.
So, there's that.
And do you think they should have the right to vote?
I do not. No, absolutely not.
They should stay at home?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So basically, you're just a misogynist old dinosaur, aren't you?
Just phenomenal. Imagine having this kind of leverage over your opponent and you just throw it all away. Incredible.
For a young guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm the boomer. I know I'm the boomer here, but actually, you're a 27-year-old dinosaur, aren't you? Aren't you, Nick Fuentes?
Oh my God, it's so embarrassing.
All women.
I am.
Are you telling me you're a misogynist? Your views on gender equality would be more at home in the mid-1930s.
Women are annoying. All women grow
fossil.
old. They all get fat. Says the guy. Have you ever had sex?
No, absolutely not.
That's a fucking lie.
Wow. Says the guy who's never got laid.
Again, I've said this before, but Fuentes pretends to have not fucked for the same reason K-pop idols do, okay? No shot. Hassan on Destiny and Fuentes. I don't want to watch a fucking clip from Asana, and I was just wondering what they were up to. I wouldn't be surprised if Fuentes is probably less interpersonally creepy towards women in a social setting than Morgan. I would bet my goddamn bottom dollar on that, 100%. Piers Morgan, this fucking old, creepy, believes in nothing, media mogul, rich guy, versus the Fuentes? Oh, he keeps his legs crossed tight. Did you see that shot of him when he was with the Red Scare girls? Hold on. Where he had his legs crossed? Ah, come on. Where is that? I can't find it. This again? Here we go. Hold on. Oh, I know he is respectful and sat when the women are talking. Piers Morgan, I bet you Piers Morgan's like the fucking the producer in The Substance, you know, he's breathing all over the women. Fuentes in the corner of the couch, seated, polite, listening. He needs to move to Brooklyn so bad. I know! I keep saying, people say, it's not a beef. I just want him to live his life. Anyway, you need to move to Brooklyn so bad? Nah, I'm too autistic for New York, sorry.